Last time on Rolling with Remix, Fallen Empires. Our heroes were tested by a Threshold Guardian, who would not let them pass to the Skeleton King's chambers unless they proved themselves to have a worthy purpose. While Quintessa eventually explained that she felt incomplete without rescuing a soul in the Skeleton King's castle, and was thus allowed to pass, her companions were not unless they proved they had a purpose of their own, which proved rather difficult, considering that for half of them the purpose was just accompany Quintessa. Though the Threshold Guardian challenged them to combat as an alternative, eventually they wore him down and managed to convince him, or phrase their argument well enough, that he allowed all of them to pass into the court of the Skeleton King. Unfortunately, the Doom Rider and Lady Fomar were also there. And while Lady Fomar was uninterested in combat, the Doom Rider most certainly was. And, during the assault to try and unlatch the Skeleton King's cauldron from its bindings, the Doom Rider managed to slay Bob entirely. And Rowan, grabbing Bob's body, threw it into the cauldron to stop the oncoming tide of rising undead and stun the Skeleton King. Taking advantage of this distraction, Mace shoved his folding boat into the Skeleton King's mouth and expanded it, shattering him, providing a brief reprieve as his death summoned the leader of the Unseelie Court, the Queen of Night and Magic, who ordered Lady Fomar to resurrect the Skeleton King while she addressed the intruders and figured out how best to get rid of them. The Skeleton King, revived, was magically silenced and held in place while his superior, the Queen of Night and Magic, was making the deals in his stead. And Rowan made the first deal to avoid her wrath, swearing to become the servant of the Queen of Night and Magic. It was then that the heroes asked if they could take the cauldron to revive Esgol, which Lady Fomar laughed at, and revealed why exactly Quintessa wanted him, along with revealing that Quintessa had a habit of inserting herself into the life of Azalea Lythos, a woman who had no idea who she was, and ultimately framed the reasons for wanting Esgol back as nothing but selfish. Shocked and hurt that Quintessa would not share this herself, Mace and Kit, who had a portal home, found what they wanted and quickly left. Quintessa adamantly refused to make any deals in order to save her fiancé, which left Leaf to have to make one for her, turning into a fey hunting dog, which turned out to be far more literal than he had thought, in order to secure the release of the cauldron. Quintessa heaved it down the stairs to the hags, who were as good as their word. Unfortunately, the revival of Esgol required ripping out half of Quintessa's heart. And so, without a second thought as to the sacrifices others had made to ensure her happiness, while she would make none, Quintessa embraced Esgol and was sent home through a portal. Unfortunately, Battenrance Hall, the home in question, appeared to be aflame the instant it came into view. What caused this? Well, perhaps we shall see when we go back in time to the start of the siege on Battenrance Hall. How long will the rest of Team A last against a siege of elves? Who's ultimately going to be the one to set Battenrance Hall on fire? And who is Queen going to play since Quintessa, fucked off into the Feywild to get her husband instead? Find out on tonight's episode of Rolling with Remix, Fallen Empires.